Executive Director, to this meeting. You're very welcome, sir. I would also like to welcome all the IMC members to the meeting. We are short of time, so I may not be able to call names one by one. I just want to say you are welcome. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. And I want to welcome every other person, every staff in the auditorium to this training. We learned a lot yesterday. We were trying to do a kind of recap among ourselves. I'm very sure that you agree with me that it is a fully packed training and we are going home with a lot of things. This morning, we'll be having a resource people amongst us. I'd like to introduce Dr. Shade Olatunji. Is she here? I'll welcome you. I'll welcome you. So the second person amongst us this morning, she is also a resource person. I'd like to, sorry, we changed the program. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Dr. Toyin Aniabo. You're very welcome. So we go straight to the business of the day, which is understanding mental health, that will be given by Dr. Shade, Mrs. Shade Olatunji. You're welcome. Let's welcome her.
Morning, everybody. Thank you very much for the confidence you have in us by bringing us here again for this mental health. We are from UCH, the nurses, and from our little experience and interaction with clients, want to bring our little experience to educate us and also encourage us to pay attention to our mental health. We're sorry we're coming a little bit behind schedule because we have a nursing council exam in the next 2 weeks and our students are doing revision. I had to give a particular lecture this morning before coming here, and I had to suspend it because of this program. So that's to show you how serious mental health is. It's not something to wait. And I want to thank the executive director and all the principal officers for continuing to support mental health of their workers. This is, I always say it, I give it to NIOT. Can you celebrate the executive director? Because we are just in line with what WHO is actually advocating. The first time I came, I said it that WHO has written a document on mental health in the workplace, very comprehensive, and it is where we borrowed and actually took most of the things that we're going to say. And even this year, Mental Health Day is particular about the workplace. We are occupational health nurses, and the health of the worker is our specialty. And so we came from School of Occupational Health Nursing, University College Hospital, Ibadan. Thank you very much. I'm starting on the existing protocol. I cannot be greeting everybody. Thank you so much. So this first session, I've just laid the foundation of what mental health is, what we need to understand and know about mental health. And I want us to be very, very attentive because health is not something that we can, if you are not healthy, you are just there because whatever you want to achieve, it is with health that we can achieve it. So I want to welcome everybody. Can you celebrate yourself? Let's do it for thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is our outline. We're going to be talking about the overview of mental health in the introduction, look at the factors affecting mental health, and then we are going to look at the signs of good mental health and that of the indicator for poor mental health, and then we look at the dangers of mental imbalance. Then we'll summarize and conclude before the next lecture. So in the introduction, I try to define what health is according to World Health Organization as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just the absence of sickness or infirmity. That definition has been on since the 70s, and we are still using it, and it is still relevant. When you look at the picture on the other side, it's talking about life balance. As far as World Health Organization is concerned, we cannot consider you healthy except we can see that you are socially, you can cope, mentally, you are stable, physically, you are okay. That is when we can just say that you are healthy. For life to be balanced, we conclude that you have a healthy life, your family must be in good order, you should be able to interact properly with them, you should be able to handle your mental health, spiritually, you should be okay, community-wise, socially, financially, professionally. Your career, everything about your life is involved in your health. If there's any aspect of your life that is not in line, it will affect your health. So for us to conclude that you are healthy, every aspect that we have mentioned and is in that picture must be in good order. And you know that mental health is one of such. And that's why we're talking about mental health. And look at what somebody talked about well-being. Before, according to Hans et al. 2019, before you can say somebody is well, can say this person is well, then person there must be a balance point between the individual resource pool and the challenges the person is facing. If I ask a 2-year-old to come to this lecture and carry this table, the person will, the child will not be able to carry the table because the energy the child is bringing cannot lift that table. But if you ask an adult to carry it, with ease, he will carry it. So that means for us to be able to conclude that somebody is well, I'm just trying to emphasize the issue of balancing when it comes to your health. Whatever you are bringing as a resource and the challenges you are facing must be balanced. If there's no balancing, then that person will have ill health at some point in the journey. Am I communicating? Yes, thank you. And so when we've already laid the foundation of what health is. Now we want to look at mental health. Because mental health is just a fraction of your health. Most of us pay attention to our physical health. Once you have headache, you go to the hospital. Once you have pain in your leg, you quickly go because movement is difficult. But most of us, we don't really know when our mental health is getting derailed. And there's just a thin line between mental health and mental illness. It's just a very thin line. And so we need to know what mental health is. According to this definition, World Health Organization 2022, mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, and contribute to their community. That means if you are mentally okay, you can cope with your job, you can cope with your family, you can cope with the community, no matter what they are selling, right? No matter what Tinubu says, your mind, your health is okay. No matter what they say, the petrol price is not affecting you mentally. You can still meet your deadlines. It's not affecting the food you eat on your table. Even if rice is 120,000, you can still afford it because you can still find a way around it. You can still think of what to do. You can take initiative. Your career is not suffering, and there's nobody suffering. The family is not suffering. So your mental health, you are stable. You are okay, and that is what where mental health is all about. And in order to further say it's a fundamental human right. Sorry, I don't know how that one is covered. I think the other picture that covered it. It's a fundamental human right that is crucial to both personal community, socio-economic development, and it's essential at every stage of your life. Mental health is not something that we are talking about to adults. There is child mental health, there's adolescent mental health, and there is adult, and there is elderly mental health. At each stage of our life, our mental health and capacity are not the same. And then what influences our mental health at such points are also not the same. Different circumstances and situations that we go through or we are involved in does affect our mental health. So we have children that are not mentally okay, that we admit them in the hospital. So, and we also have adolescents that we admit in adolescent. We have adolescent and child and adolescent mental health ward in usage. And we have patients there that we are taking of. They have mental health issues, one way or the other. And then we have the elderly. Some people are okay all their life. When they are getting old, that is when mental health issue will come up. And then it becomes a family issue, becomes a community issue. Now, what I'm saying is that for you to be mentally okay, it is a fundamental human right. And we know what it means. That means if somebody is driving you crazy, you can't actually arrest them. If somebody is making life difficult for you, it is in this part of the world that we take the issue of mental health with levity. In the developed world, I can go to the police station and say, please, can you come and arrest my neighbor because the activities in their house is causing me to be mentally imbalanced. Because it's a right. Somebody should not drive you crazy. No matter who the person is, you have a right to be mentally okay. By the time we talk about factors affecting mental health, you will notice that some people are driving the other person crazy. Some people are driving the activities of one person is making the other person lose their mind. And whether the work, whether the community, whether it's so many things. So it is your right to be mentally okay. Am I communicating? It's your right to be mentally okay. If anybody is driving you crazy, look at this picture. Hello. As much as I talk, I allow, please pay attention. Look at this picture. Can you see the picture? This picture, there's a line. On one side of the line, what is there? Positive mental health. On the other side, what is there? I'm sure we don't want to get to that point, right? So what this picture is telling us, we're still talking about mental health, and we need to understand this particular point. Because lack of understanding of this point makes some people to think that it's only people that are in the hospital on drugs that are mentally sick. We have that impression that until somebody breaks out, they are giving the person drug, that is mentally okay. We have a lot of people on the road, in the car, in our offices, in the market that are not mentally sound. We have them, and we are living with them, we are interacting with them, and we need to understand what mental health is. There is a balance point between mental health, positive mental health, and mental illness. It is that balance point we are all supposed to be. We are supposed to be at that balance point where we are not tilting to the negative side, right? But this particular slide is saying mental health is not just mere absence of mental disorder. The fact that you don't have a mental disorder does not mean that you are mentally okay. Are you getting it? You might not be on drugs. You might not be diagnosed of having any mental illness. I'm not an advocate of mental illness. I'm not here to talk about mental illness. And we don't mention mental illness at all. What I'm saying is, between somebody that is on drugs and other people, there are some of us at some point in our interaction with life that the pressures of life and circumstances we find ourselves push us to the point that we are not mentally balanced. And it affects other things and other people around us. Yet, those people are, all of us in that position, we are not yet on drugs. And we need to know that we move from one up and down down that continuum. That particular arrow that has the blue color is a continuum. It is what? A continuum. That is, at some point, when you say something is a continuum, you move from one point to another. Oh, okay. Wow. We have not done the pretest. All my answers. Are you sure they can still fill that pretest? Right? Okay. Though I've not said much anyway. Please, can you just is the pretest on their phones? On the WhatsApp? Okay. Please, okay, let's just take 2 minutes. There's a pretest. Can you just check your phone and just do my pretest? Thank God some of the answers are not yet clear. We want to be sure that we communicated. We are researchers, all of us, isn't it? So we must be able to evaluate this training. Please just cooperate with us. When you see the Google form, just fill it for the pretest. When we finish, we fill it again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for cooperating. Thank you for reminding me. Now it's just 10 minutes. Let's just within 10 minutes. You don't have to know the answer. Just pick the answer you know.
Check this out now, skip that one. You're out there. Thank you so much. We did 5 minutes.
There are just 20 questions. Please don't ask anybody for the answer. It's not an exam. Just pick the answer you believe is the best answer. Pick the one that you feel is the best answer. I'm sure there is no answer that I've answered. That was the question. Are we all there? So I'm looking at the time. 5 minutes. Please don't ask for the answer. Just pick an answer. It doesn't matter. Those of us that are online, I hope you are also filling the form. Please fill the form and submit. We are all researchers and we need to evaluate this training. Thank you so much. Are we through? No. Let's begin to round up. If you have not started, once I start, don't bother. Because all the answers, we start taking them, no longer. Please submit. Because of time, we have a long way to go. And no matter the time we return to the office, I still have the lecture. So please, let's just maintain the time. Thank you very much. Just submit, wherever you are submitting like that. It is the first step that is most important. We don't expect you to know the answer to the pre-test anyway. Just submit it like that. When we do the post-test, then you do it more carefully. It will even be very easy for you. They are very simple questions. There's nothing special about the test. Are we all through? Have you submitted? Thank you. So we're talking about positive. I'm sure this question is there. We're talking about the positive mental health and the mental illness. And I said it's on a continuum. What that means is that at some point, because of the experiences we are going through, because of circumstances we find ourselves beyond our control, and because of the challenges of Nigeria that have come upon us, all of us, it has come upon us. Because of that, we move from one end of that continuum to another. And as we are moving, we're supposed to move towards the positive. Circumstances of life might push us towards the negative, which is the end of it is mental illness. We are supposed to now take responsibility and ensure that circumstances we find ourselves do not push us to the other side. But many people are being pushed to the other side around us and even among us, and we might not pick it until it does happen. Are we together? Thank you. So what are the factors that can make that shift to take place? What are those things? They're just the foundation of what mental health is, right? What are those things that will influence us, whether we are going to be mentally well or not? You know, I told you mental wellness or health is not absence of mental sickness. You might not be mentally okay, yet you are not really mentally sick. You are just in between. And what happens, what you now did or don't do, or what people around you do or don't do, will now determine whether you are shifting to the other negative side or not. So biological factors can actually make somebody to be mentally well or to be mentally sick. It can drive us either way. And the first one I'm looking at here is the first 1,000 days of the life of a child. It accounts for 70% of the health of that person. If you count 1,000 days, how many years is that? What? 3 years, about 3 years. So from the time the child is born, if I right from the womb, that's what fetal programming is actually talking about. Right from the womb, the quality of life a child will live will be determined. Not just because the child is growing in utero, not just because whether the mother is eating or not, even the mental state of the mother affects the growing child. So when a woman is not happy with the pregnancy, supposedly the pregnancy is not accepted by the husband, and the woman is sorrowful in the process of pregnancy, it affects the child is also benefiting from it. What we know whether it is positive or it is also negative. This is according to research. I'm not telling you something offhand. I don't know how I remove the reference, but if you need the reference, I can send it. So whatever the child is going through in utero is whether it's going through outside, is affecting the child. Physical health, mental health, social health is affecting that child, and it's actually laying a foundation. It's laying a foundation for the total well-being of that child. So since we are narrowing our topic to mental health, it means that if a woman is not mentally okay during the process of pregnancy, it affects the child, especially the first 1,000 days of the life of that child. It will determine whether the child will know how to smile, how to relate to people well. It will determine whether the child will be, will be sorrowful, will easily relate, whether the child will be somebody. Emma, come and you know. How do you express that word? Life is not Thank you. You know, some people, they are just not there. You want to smile to them, you know, they just don't know how to do it. They cannot smile so easily. Smiling is very expensive for them. Meanwhile, it's the cheapest thing. They are not paying for a smile. But some has happened along the line. According to research, a baby can recognize 73 types of smile of the mom after cannot smile if the baby knows that something is wrong with this woman. And psychologically, it's also the baby is apologetic. The baby the baby is wondering, oh, mommy is not happy today. So whatever we are doing is affecting that. It's according to research. And also, there's something we call fetal programming. That is, you are comfortable with computer programming. But yes, we have fetal programming. People that are into genetics, they have already told us that as we understand that fetus and computer can be programmed into what we want a computer to do, right? The same way a fetus can actually be programmed. In the process of birth, since we are narrowing our topic to mental health, in the process of action, and even the first 1,000 days, a child is being programmed into what the child is seeing around. The emotional language that we have in the house, the child is picking it and is growing into adulthood with it and is bringing it into the workplace. Because it is the workplace that we will come eventually. That is why these things are affecting us. You might wonder why we are talking about it. I'm laying a foundation. Things that determine the mental health of an individual. One of the factors is biological. The way we were raised. The way your mom raised you. And so you will find out that that's why they always collect children from the mad people. Because if you leave that child with that mad woman, every character of the mad woman is what the baby will manifest. So that is because in utero, there is a programming going on. If we interject with the right approach, whatever bad the baby is bringing will be affected. That is where we talk about nature and nurture. I'm not going to that because of our time. And then we also talk about connections and interdependence. Those are our medical language. I put it there for you to know that there's a connection. That connection is talking about the connection between the mom and the child, both physically and mentally. And then the interdependence is talking about the fact that the two of them depend on each other for survival and for whatever reason, whatever the mother is going through, the child depends on the mom. If you want to train a child to be somebody that relates well, it depends on the way the mom relates with the child. So these are factors that have been there and we have been trained to become. We have been raised in that particular way, right? So when somebody is coming to the office, you can only see a worker, but you cannot see the background of that worker, right? Okay, because of that, we look at the psychosocial, the stressors that the person has passed through over time, the kind of things that parents have exposed the child to, and you yourself have exposed yourself to, the kind of, whether it is physical or emotional stress, you know, the stressors of life, exams you have written, places you have gone, courses you have done, the kind of challenges you have faced, everything determines to a great extent what your mental health will look like, which we cannot see because you only come here to work. Nobody can see the stressors of life you have taken yourself through before you take the job. Can they see it? No. Then the quality of life that people live, that is the access to the basic things of life. You know, not having access to basic things of life can actually affect your mental health, right? Yes, access to basic things of life can also give you a positive mental health. And then support system. So because my partner is coming to talk about psychosocial risk, let's not just dwell on that. Then when we look at the environment where somebody lives, the quality of air you breathe in affects your mental health. The quality of water you drink, because so many water are being polluted with different kinds of chemicals. So many air are polluted with chemicals, especially in the days of industrialization and civilization. We put a lot of things that are in the atmosphere that's not supposed to be there. And some workplaces, they are polluted with all kinds of things. So because of that, it affects our mental health. Also the sound and the music. You know, when people are raised with different kinds of environments where sound matters. You know, some people are raised in GRA, where when you wake up, you can actually hear the pin drop. But there are some of us, I will go. I want to join the barista of Chiwo. Some people are also done by music in their community. They say, in the morning, as the child is waking up, he's used to that noise. So if you are not shouting, you are not talking. And until you shout, you don't believe it's passing the message across to you. Right? So, can we blame them? That is the way they were raised. We can't blame them yet, though. We can't blame them yet. We can't blame them because they were raised like that. You know, there are some people that if they don't listen to music, they cannot sleep. Because that is the way they grew up. Some of us, if you open the door of my room and you close it, I will open my eyes. If you bang anything, I will wake up. If my husband is sleeping and you play music till tomorrow, you will sleep alone. You will sleep. And then human connection, the kind of people that you have met in your life, the kind of friends you have met, they affect your mental health. So one way or the other, they influence your behavior. It depends on the age and time of your life that you relate to some people. You know, when you live with people that smile and relate well, and you are coming from places where they don't say, why are you always smiling? After some time, you also learn to smile. You have a roommate in the room that doesn't know how to do anything. That can always shout and scream. Please, take it easy, calm down. You know, after some time, you also learn that life is not about shouting. Calm down. So the people you are connected with, it doesn't matter who. For as long as a human being, or maybe some people with dogs that they relate with anyway. So it depends on the kind of connections you have had with people. It determines. And you see, these factors that I'm talking about, it is either positively or negatively. Now, those factors determine what we are bringing to work on. When they are taking you for this job, how many of you did they check your brain? See, please, you want to recruit, you want to see how much of your brain is correct. And we want to recruit, you will tell us the kind of life, all these things I'm talking about. Is it part of the interview? I'm Romero Bani. Because you just employ all sorts of people. Different background, different stresses, different exposure, different things, and whether you like it or not, they are your partner in the office, they are your team member, they are your group member, they are your subordinates, they are your bosses, and they are going through different expressions of life. Some of them, circumstances of life have thrown them up, brought them down. They are coming with a mindset that you don't know. Neither are you conversant with the level of their mental health. So, you need to, that has to be at the back of our mind when we come to the office. Let's not just look at job. We need to know these things, right? Yes. So what are the signs of mental wellness? I talk about resilience, which is the capacity, that capacity to withstand and recover quickly. Some of us, when we had our rice was 70,000, said, yeah, how many bags are we going to buy this house? Eh? God, 78. Not knowing that it's coming to 100. So the level of the shop was called, they were introducing those shops. So they started, they said, immediately they shout and they give food. Let the food come down. Give them a little bit more. Give them just all those people bring the inflation. You are doing it small. Only so many years. I hope you know me and me our life. Because they are speaking now, we are still popular. Right? Resilience is the capacity to stand no matter what people is doing. Right? Capacity to withstand and bounce back on time before people begin to ask you, Madam, right? You are able to face toughness. These are tough, but you can't see it on you. You can't see it on you. Those are signs of you have positive mental health, right? I know many of us have, otherwise we won't be here anyway. Then you are focused. You are focused. You are not confused. You know what to do. There are a lot of people that are confused, though. It's not a sin to be confused, actually. It's just that just show us that they need help. So you are not confused. But you see, circumstances can make you confused. Because how will you spend a salary of 100,000 to buy rice for 100,000? How do you correlate it? Somebody's salary is 100,000, bag of rice is 100,000. So, of course, you don't need to buy the bag of rice. Yes, but how do you expect? It's just showing you how far things are gone. And the salary. So at some point, you want to spend money. You are confused. Okay, which one is which? Which one is not important? So, but if you are mentally okay, honestly, you are still focused. Despite all. Then you are happy, you are joyful, you are merry, you are good looking, you are dancing. You come inside the hall, you are not feeling as if you are the only person that something has happened to. Somebody is saying, Madam, no, shall I say words? You are merry, you are still smiling. You are not faking the smile, but you are coping. You are able to still smile despite all, right? And then you are good looking. We didn't need to tell you, but mommy, you didn't brush your hair. Or it's like the button. You didn't put on the button. And then one strand of the hair is on this side, the other strand is here. You are well kept, right? You are independent. We didn't need to sit down and plan your salary for you. You are cool-headed, you are calm, right? You are teachable. You see, by the time you cannot tell somebody what you're doing is not right, you need to pay attention to that person. You are energetic, you are emotional stable, you are open, you are creative, you easily forgive. You don't carry life on your head, right? You are not living as if you are the only person in Nigeria that trouble is happening to you. You are not pushing your problem on the other way. People in your office are not confused whether they should change office with you. Right? What are the signs of negative mental health? Look at it. Aggressiveness, bitterness, anger, agitation. You are just asking for nothing. I'm over there. Say, you know, you are not agitating. You know, there's fear of your road for somebody who needs help. You are afraid for no reason, because you don't know what they will announce tomorrow. So you are afraid. Okay? And we have to one day. You are disorganized, you are ruining your pets. This is somebody that uses makeup and put hair before you know it. Lipstick, you don't have color. So what's your father? You are changing color. And then you say, you are pessimistic. You don't see good in anything. You are sad. There is a sign of hopelessness. You are lonely, even in a group. You are lonely. That's why everyone is talking and interacting as you sit down. You know, you just feel that you are the only person in the whole world that is suffering, right? You are forced, you want to force your will on everybody because you believe that is what will work, right? You have the wrong sense of judgment, you are easily offended, you lack inner strength. See, absent-mindedness is a very serious sign of poor mental health. It has happened to me before. I came to work, and what happened? I had a baby that I did not plan for. No, I got pregnant after 7 months delivery. So I just discovered that baby is wearing pampers. I'm breastfeeding. I started feeling funny. You know, I'm a nurse, I don't know. So I now went to the hospital and they said you are pregnant. It's more than a matter. It was more than the news that I started crying. You know, the thing got on me to the point that because I don't have a house help, my mother-in-law is dead. There's nobody to help me. I'm the only person in Ibadan, no sister. So I thought of everything. So when I'm going, I don't even see anybody. My mind is not just in it. How will I go? For the two of them, I was thinking, Nigeria is not like this there. That lady I'm talking about is a final year. That period was a time of poor mental health. I almost ran mad. One day I brought my car to the office. When I finished work, I took public transport home. They are laughing. So when I got home, my husband said, "Where is the car?" Huh? Oh, I went to work with the car. Another time, enough start with that. I didn't say I don't want this pregnancy. So why do you want to kill yourself? So absent-mindedness, imagine driving with that kind of mindset. When I get to work, the people I'm working with, I can't talk to them. You know why? They are all waiting mothers. Because I work in the antenatal clinic. So when somebody is looking for fruit of the womb, they will deploy them to antenatal clinic in order for them to interact with the right set of people. And because if you go and put that person in another world, where they take of sick people, can add to their problem. So among them, I'm the only person that is fruitful, so to say. There are about 2 or 3 of us. So when I get to work and I sit down, I say, "Shade kilo share." It was on me. You can't have me. I can't hide it. Because most of the time I'm crying. I was always crying. I'm a Christian, I cannot abort. And what will I now do? What will I now do? How do I now go? What you hope me? So when you find yourself, and that's why I'm saying mental health is not about being on drugs. At that point, if I don't find help, honestly, anything can happen. Right? There is unstable, unpredictable emotion. Because of time, let me move. So what are the dangers of mental imbalance? Absent-mindedness, home accident. Yes, you can put on something on the cooker. I will go and sit down. It will burn. Then I remember, I do something on the cooker. Road accidents, loss of opportunities, physical sickness. For some of us that work in a research institute, you can go and do the wrong thing. I have the story of somebody who switched off a refrigerator where they were preserving samples. The man has some mental health imbalance, they don't know. He was security. He said he had a noise and he switched it on. Do you know that? It was a research. They were putting samples. It's a medical research. They were putting samples of 20-25 years. Was one. Why can switch it off? What mental imbalance? That particular research multi-million naira research was destroyed just because somebody's head was not working. It can progress to mental illness, suicidal attempts, alcoholism. People start drinking because they can't cope. Drug addiction, smoking, and violence. Because of that, let me just move. So how do we promote mental health? Individual approach. Take responsibility. Who is responsible for your mental health? It is you, not a lawyer, not an advocate, not my friend, my sister, my husband, my brother. You see, it's my husband that is not making me happy. But it's my wife, she's the one that is causing me trouble.